Hi guys, hope you had an amazing festive period. I want to share with you some happy hacks that will make you happy immediately. They're not things like gratitude or taking a walk, they're literally things that will make you happy in that exact moment. I think it's really fitting for the new year. Try and get 2019 off on a really happy, positive vibe. The way we're going to get happy immediately is to release our happy hormones. So I've done tons of research and I think I've covered almost all of them, and I'm sorry if I've left any out. So we've got dopamine, which is a really popular happy hormone. I hope I'm saying these names right. Next I've got is endocannabinoids, which I've never heard of before researching for this video, but this is similar to the feeling of being high on cannabis, so it alters your consciousness and perception. Next I've got is oxytocin. This one's really important for modern living because a lot of our interactions are through the internet, and oxytocin is produced when you kind of have human contact and face to face and kind of you're close to another human being, and if you keep watching you'll find some tips on how to produce that. Next I've got endorphins, which is the self-produced morphine. So this kind of makes you feel larger than life, like superhuman, feeling no pain, ready to face anything. Also got serotonin, which is a feeling of confidence and belonging. So obviously that's a really good feeling and making you feel purposeful to be able to live better. Next I've got GABA, which is the calming hormone. It makes you feel more fulfilled and at peace. So that's a really nice one as well, because everything's really stressful and it doesn't really seem to be slowing down at all. More technology, more busy, all that kind of lifestyle. And lastly there's adrenaline. I don't want to do too many tips on adrenaline because it can cause stress as well. An easy way to get adrenaline quickly, which obviously gives you energy, is to take really short rapid breaths. The easy tips to be able to release some of these hormones. So the first one is to force a smile or force a laugh. So you can do this even when you're crying. So you're like crying and you're like ha 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 ha, and like it sounds dumb and you kind of look dumb when you do it, but it does help because it does produce oxytocin, which kind of gives you that feeling that you're close to someone, you're happy, you're feeling all those things which you, and smiling and laughing is what you do when you're conversing with someone else and you're happy that way. So trying to force a smile, you can do this literally anywhere. The next one is to squeeze your toenail. So I've currently got socks on, but you basically just pinch every single toenail on both of your feet, and this produces endorphins. I'm not sure how this happens, but I've done this for the past few months, and also whilst you're doing it you can like do a foot massage, which will produce oxytocin as well, and the GABA as like the calming kind of feelings as well. But that's a good one because it's nice and easy. You don't really have to put much effort into like, because if you don't want to smile you're like, oh no, that's stupid, like an idiot. You can just squeeze your toenails and that will produce a similar kind of feeling. Next is skin to skin contact. So you don't have to be talking to that person, you don't even have to know or like this person. Even if you're just sitting next to them on a train and you kind of get a bit close, I know that sounds really weird, but just kind of being around people will give you that kind of oxytocin. And also if you are close to them and like just like touching their hand or giving them a cuddle or like a just anything skin to skin contact will produce the oxytocin for you. And also if this kind of heats up a little bit and gets a bit saucy, then it can produce adrenaline, endorphins and endocannabinoids as well. So you can kind of heat things up a bit and that produces a lot of hormones instantly. Next you could do is take deep breaths. So this is kind of like meditation, and mainly this produces a GABA, which is really calming. Another thing about the deep breathing as well is it spreads oxygen through your body. So sometimes we get congested and sad and anxious when we don't have a good oxygen flow in our bloods and our muscles and all around our body. So just deep breathing will just ensure that everything's open, all the oxygen spreading around your body, and that will make you happier that way. Which also brings you into the present moment as well, and you kind of see and feel all the amazing things that are around you. Next is, if you have them, is to engage with the plants and animals around you. This produces the oxytocin without the human interaction. So obviously you're around living beings with plants and animals as well, so they can kind of communicate back with you. You can literally feel them, touch them, you can speak to them, they can walk around, you can follow them, things like that. And with the plants as well, like you're nurturing them, you're helping something live and to be, and that produces the oxytocin as well, and also the kind of serotonin, which gives you that purposeness. So you've got this interaction, you're helping someone else out. So if you're not really a people person but you really do want to kind of up your oxytocin and serotonin levels, then buying a plant or interacting with any animals as well will heighten that for you. Listening to music will increase your dopamine and oxytocin as well. It's kind of similar to like watching ASMR or oxytocin in that way. So you're not actually with that person, but you feel a connection, you feel like they're there. And I'll link some ASMRists down below as well, which kind of do that kind of friendly role play, so you feel like you're with someone. And obviously, so listening to music kind of gives you that same interaction that someone else is there, they're talking to you. And it also gives you that dopamine as well, because you're happy, especially if you listen to music that you love or a favourite song. That's really good as well. If you're listening to a song that kind of sparks a memory and like a happy feeling inside of you from your past, then that'll also produce the serotonin in your body as well. Something really, really simple we can do is go out in the sun. This produces dopamine and serotonin in our bodies, and really we don't have to do any effort to do that. If you're not feeling going outside, you can literally just go out in your garden, open your window, stick your head outside. It's a really, really easy way to get happy instantly, because of the sunlight. And obviously our bodies are made to be outside, like we live in harmony with all the elements in the sun. Okay, so if you feel cold, or if you make yourself cold, then this produces adrenaline and endocannabinoids. I feel like I'm really butchering that name, but it produces those two hormones which make you happy, especially the adrenaline. That's a really sharp, hard-hitting, very, very instant hormone release that makes you can feel it straight away. You feel that happiness. And when you're cold, obviously it's not nice to be cold, but if you're kind of a comfortable cold where you can get out of it quickly and warm up quickly, then that's a good way to get a really quick burst of energy and also release their endocannabinoids as well. Okay, the next one, which I'm sure we will all love, is eating chocolate. This produces so many hormones. I've also read so many times that chocolate produces the similar hormone to love, which I don't know how true that is. I see it a lot. But yeah, so I'm sure you'll all be happy to hear that chocolate can make you happy really fast. The hormones that chocolate produces also similar to the ones which tea and beans produce as well. So that's things like serotonin, GABA and endocannabinoids. Those three, they're not really food groups, those three things you can consume will make you happy quickly, because they will produce the hormones as well. It may take a bit longer because obviously you have to be digested, but again, it's easy things that we need. So eating, drinking, hopefully we do that more than once a day, so we can kind of get those things in. So another thing, I've kind of touched on this earlier, but is a massage. So this produces the oxytocin if someone else is doing it. It produces the GABA because it's the calming, kind of at peace feeling. It also produces serotonin as well, and gets everything moving in your body. So massages are really good. I've got a video coming out about really easy ways to massage and exercise yourself, but the areas you can do it on yourself is your hands and your feet and your neck. So a vitamin that I talk about in almost every single video I do is magnesium. So when you take this, you produce the GABA hormone, and this isn't quite as instant as some of the other tips I've given, but it does kind of build up over time, gives you that kind of fulfillment, which is kind of linked to the purposeness of the serotonin. Yeah, so magnesiums are really good. If you want something to take, that will really help as well, and you can build that up and build that up, and you can kind of get that quiet, peaceful, fulfilled feeling. Another thing I've got, which we all have to do, just like the chocolate, is to sleep, and this produces the dopamine in our bodies. Obviously we don't want to oversleep because this can cause, well, add to things like depression, anxiety. Again, if you do ever feel tired, then do sleep, because it does produce you that dopamine, and also it's vital for our living as well. Lastly, I want to say you can do it so easily, is to exercise. This produces every single one of the hormones I have mentioned in different ways. So obviously yoga and Pilates for GABA, running, really intense cardio for adrenaline. It's something that requires a lot more effort, but it really does help. You can literally just go for a 5-minute jog, and that produces so many happy hormones as well. But I really hope they help. Obviously I'm always looking to learn, and this is kind of something new I've been researching. So anything you have about this, let me know, DM me on Instagram, comment on the video, and have a beautiful, happy, amazing 2019. Thank you. Bye bye.